Hola! So this week you're going to be working in your workbook section of your binder, and you're going to be doing the first 6 pages, which is 3 sheets of paper. And they're pretty simple exercises, but we want to make sure that you're doing things on paper too, not just on the computer. So if you notice in the directions, it tells you what to do in English and also put it in Spanish and what reference sheet you need. So vocab 1 is the cognates, right? So all you need to do for this 1A is to draw each of these words. So you could draw what you want, like el tenis, you could do a tennis racket, tennis ball, tennis court, something that I could tell that you know what the word is. Whenever you see this little star, that means it's a false cognate. So el fútbol is not our regular football that we have. It's a different sport. And la ropa is not a rope. So make sure you look to the back of your vocab sheet for the false cognates for those. So Americano, you have a lot of different things you can do for that one, right? Be creative with this. All right, 1B, you're translating these sentences to English. And on the back of vocab 1, there's a section called sentence starters. And these little words here are on the sentence starters. So yo prefiero, I think you can figure out means I prefer, but that is on the back of vocab 1. So for number 1, you would just write in English, I prefer golf and boxing. A mí me gustan, you might have to look on the back of vocab 1 for that. It means I like. And then you have to figure out las cebras y las jirafas. And you would write that in English, okay? Yo soy is on the back of vocab 1. So that's part 1B. On the back of page 1 is page 2, right? So 2A is write the category in Spanish of the cognate on the line. So you are not translating these to English. You have to make sure you read the directions. So these are the categories that are on your vocab 1. Los adjetivos are adjectives. Los animales, animals. Now this one here, you're going to want to write in next to it. La comida means food. It doesn't look like a cognate, right? So please write food right here. Los deportes are sports. Please write sports right here. Los instrumentos are instruments. You don't really need to write that. It means instruments, right? Las nacionalidades, nationalities. I don't think you need to write the English. But this last one, let's write it in. Los amigos falsos are false friends or false cognates. So please write false cognates right here in this box. So you have food, sports, and false cognates. The rest you should be able to tell are cognates. So in number 1, I did it for you. El cocodrilo means crocodile. But if you notice, I didn't write crocodile. I wrote los animales because that is what category it is. So please make sure that you're not writing the English on the line. We're really thinking in Spanish now. El béisbol, we know it means baseball, but we're not writing baseball. We're writing los deportes, sports. Okay? La ropa doesn't mean rope, right? We know it means clothing. So that's not one of these categories except for a false cognate. So on the line you would write los amigos falsos. Okay? So you do that for all of these different things. You just write in the category in Spanish. Okay, down here you're writing the Spanish as a sentence. And you have your sentence starters on vocab 1. So I like fruit. A mí me gusta, actually gustan, because it's las frutas after it. Okay, so just try your best to fill in those blanks. Each blank is for one word. Okay, just try your best for these. You're getting credit for the effort that you're putting on these homeworks. Okay, so now we're working with numbers. That's happening this week. And all you're doing is practicing writing the Spanish 5 times. Do you remember like doing spelling in school when you were younger? So all you're writing is uno, 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 dos, 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 dos. So we're just practicing the spelling. So we have 1 through 10 in order in Spanish. So you could use this as a reference for the bottom part, or if you look in the directions, vocab 2 is the reference sheet. At the bottom in part 3B, all right, it says write the number in Spanish that comes before and after using vocab 2. So look at the example, seis, which means 6. So what number comes before 6 and what number comes after 6? And you're going to write that word in Spanish, okay? So number 1 is dos, which means 2. So in front of it, you're going to write uno, and after it, you're going to write tres. Number 2 has nothing to do with number 1. Ocho means 8. So on this line, you're going to write the number that comes before 8 in Spanish. And on this one, you're going to write the number that comes after ocho, which is nueve. All right, I want to give you all the answers, but so you just go across every time, okay? All right, halfway done. Now we have some math equations. And if you look at the directions for 4A, it says write the answer to these equations as a word in Spanish, all right, using vocab 2. These are the math like symbols. A plus is más, a minus is menos, times or multiplication is por, and divided by, right? So sometimes you see the dot, line, dot, or this is dividido por. It equals is son or ace. If the answer is 1, you're going to use ace. Anything else, you're going to use son. So let's look at the example. Dos más cinco son siete. So I would suggest writing the number above it. So dos is 2. Write that in there right now. Más is plus. Cinco is 5. Son is equals. And then, so 2 plus 5 equals 7. So if you want to write a little 7 up here, but then make sure to write it out as a word in Spanish. Let's do this one together. So cinco, above cinco, put a 5. Above menos, put a minus. Above dos, put a 2. Above son, put in equals. So now we have 5 minus 2 equals. If you want to make a little mini 3 up here, and then you have to spell out trace, T-R-E-S. So hopefully you can figure these out, all right? And then you're just going to practice writing these equations out. You don't actually have to do math in your head. You just have to write the symbols and everything. So look at the example. 1 plus 4 equals 5. Uno más cuatro son cinco. Do you see that? So let's do this one together. 3 plus 3 equals 6. Tres más tres son seis. So where can you find the spelling of these? Well, you could look on the other side of this sheet of paper or vocab 2. So that's what we're really focusing on is numbers this week. Okay, so you just write these out as words in Spanish. Okay, we have 2 more sides, 5 and 6. And when you do this, for number 5, you're just practicing the spelling. So again, dos, 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 tres, 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 tres. We're just writing with our own hand, practicing the spelling, okay? And it goes all the way up to 20, all right? So take a look at these, make sure you spell them right. And one last side is part 6A and 6B, which is similar to another page we did. So in this part here, you're going to write the number that comes before and after. So I have 16, which is 16. So do you see on the example, it says 15, which is 15 before it, and 17, which is 17 after it. So let's do this number one together. 12, if you want to write a 12 above it. All right, so now we need the word for 11 in Spanish before this, 12. So once, you can write that in, O-N-C-E, once. And after 12, you're going to write trece, right, for 13, T-R-E-C-E. Okay, so that's all you got to do for 6A. And one more section is 6B. So you're going to write out these equations in Spanish using vocab 2. Again, here's the key for the math vocabulary, and then you're just writing them out. So the example, 9 plus 1 equals 10. So I have 9 más 1 son 10. Let's do number 1 together. So 5 is cinco, please write cinco. Plus is más, write más, don't forget the accent. 2 is dos, write dos. Equals is son, S-O-N. And then you need to write siete, S-I-E-T-E. So I hope this helps. Each page is going to be worth 5 points and for a total of 30 points. All right, let me know if you have any questions. Adios.